The 162nd Queen's Plate goes on TSN this Sunday. First jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown. The CEO of Woodbine Entertainment Racetrack is Jim Lawson, and he joins us today from the T-Dot, and I really appreciate him finding the time. Hey, doing business today. He's got the tie on. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great, Rod. Yeah, the tie on. First time I've had a suit on in 17 months, I just calculated. So
how
there we
about
go.
that?
We have to,
That is a really big day for sure. And listen, I'm seeing the ads running on TSN for the Queen's Plate, and I'm like, we got to get Jim on to talk about this. Let's talk about all of it. You're not going to have a full house come Sunday, but you're going to run the race. What are we going to see when we watch on Sunday?
well, we're on CTV and TSN starting at 4:30 Eastern on Sunday. It's going to be a great program and great experience for people here. All of the traditions that we're used to, the royal traditions, the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario will be here. Penny Alexiak is the ambassador for the Queen's Plate this year. So for the first time, we're going to have a person being Penny announcing riders up before the race. Jim Cuddy's going to play just before the plate. And it'll be a great day all around. So we're excited. A lot less people this year because of the COVID restrictions, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I think we'll have about 7,000 people here, but that's 7,000 more than last year. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no kidding. But you're back in your regular time slot, right? You were delayed into September last year. So how does it feel to get somewhat back to some normalcy here and get your races in the right order?
Yeah, it's the Queen's Plate, Rod, has often been the beginning of July. So we did have to push it back a bit. Having said that, there's an argument that more horses can be ready. We were expecting a field of 17. Just through different circumstances over the last couple of days, we're down to a field of 13. But what we have learned through COVID is pushing the race back gives 3-year-olds a better chance to get ready to go 1.25 miles. And it's not cast in stone that we're going to go back to the first week in July for that very reason. So we'll see what we do in 2022.
I got my email from Dark Horse, the betting app, getting ready for the Queen's Plate here on Sunday. I actually won some money last year on the Queen's Plate, so I'm excited about that. How do you feel about the field that's going to run on Sunday?
Well, I'll say this, it's wide open. I just came from the draw and everyone is having a tough time. There's no even lukewarm favorite. A lot of people like the filly that won the Canadian Oaks. Her name is Money for Row. She ran the distance 1 1/8 miles, which is 1/8 of a mile shorter than the Queen's Plate distance. But she ran it 2 seconds faster than the boys that day that they ran in the plate trial. So I expect they might make the filly the favorite this year. But it is certainly anyone's race, and that's going to lead to a lot of fun on Sunday afternoon.
Well, you may or may not agree with this, Jim, but it feels like a fast year because I remember getting my bet in while riding in a truck coming home from drag races in Saskatoon, and I bet on Belichick. And that seems like a fast year. But for you, you look like you're down a little weight, Jim. Like, how stressful has it been for you to get this far? I'm sure it hasn't been a fast year for you.
Well, let me tell you, it's been a lot dealing with on again, off again, startup. Certainly the health regulations in terms of being able to race and dealing with 2,000 employees and the horse people, which is a big community. It's been stressful. I to tie your two stories together, I am glad I retired from the CFL when I did, because if I had to have done this job and the CFL chairman's job this year, I might not be standing. I'd be a lot less than the weight you see me at now, I'll tell you that. But listen, it's all good. It's a great cause. There's lovely people in the horse community, and I'm glad we're getting going and we're healthy. And Woodbine Entertainment is a leader and doing a great job. And I'm so pleased that we're able to welcome back fans this Sunday.
Yeah, no kidding. From viewer Kelly Bale, he says, "Man, I love Jim Lawson." So there you got at least one viewer out there, Jim. Hey, but the thing is, I've been following what's going on with you and your lobbying of the government and so forth over the last year. I mean, how many meetings did you have? This consumed your life, and you do it because you love it. That's why you've been a horse guy forever. But those meetings with the government had to take some years off your life, I would think, too.
Yeah, I can say that the turning point was getting the Attorney General's office to understand that Kevin Waugh's private member's bill on sports betting did not protect the horse racing industry. Now, Kevin, and I've talked to Kevin on a number of occasions, Kevin did not intentionally do that. It's just a result of the sports betting operators carrying fixed odds racing on horse racing. And once we got through to the AG's office and to Kevin was amenable to the amendment of Bill C-218 to protect the horse racing industry. And certainly the Attorney General's office was supportive too. And in large part because of the jobs that this horse racing industry represents, not only in Ontario, but across this country. It's an important employer in this country. And if that bill had proceeded unfettered without the amendment to protect horse racing, we would have been in trouble. So I'm pleased we were able to do that. We had a lot of support of racetracks in other provinces and horse people's associations throughout the country. But people looked to us for our leadership, and we were thrilled to be able to get that done. And now, as you know, Rod, we're right into it with now the rollout by the provincial lottery corps in each province as to how they're going to do this. Our particular challenge is how we're going to integrate pari-mutuel wagering with sports betting. And we're in the middle of that and talking to partners and talking to the regulator. And I'm optimistic that what it will ultimately do is just have a broader network for pari-mutuel wagering and horse racing across these very broad networks that these name brands betting operators that you know all too well will bring to this country once it's legalized on August 27th.
Yeah, no kidding. Two last questions for you, Jim. I'm just wondering how big of a bite out of horse racing COVID took, because obviously I'm a sports guy like you. There's not one league or even team that's folded or gone extinct because of COVID, which makes me feel tremendous. But there's been, for a variety of reasons, private and government assistance and all the rest. What's it done to you guys, and how are you coming out of it?
We're coming out of it well. I said at the draw this morning, I said 18 months ago that we're going to come out of this stronger, and I really believe that we've come out of this stronger. I'll repeat what I said 18 months ago. We learned to adapt ourselves. We learned to move online. We now have approximately 80% of our wagering online through our HPI system and Dark Horse. Our brand has spread throughout the world, not just North America. Our wagering is up substantially in the United States, and it's all systems go for Woodbine Entertainment. We have technological expertise and broadcasting expertise that has served us well, and we plan for what I'll call a new era of the younger consumer and the younger demographic. And we've come out of this stronger. And what COVID did for us is it forced us to act. It was a real catalyst to get our acting gear, and we've got our acting gear, and we have a bright future.
And my last question for you is an advertisement, if you don't mind, for the Queen's Plate on Sunday for our viewers. I think they're all going to be watching now. I'm going to have my bets in through Dark Horse, but why should people tune in? It's a wonderful afternoon, right? CTV and TSN do a great job with their coverage.
They really do. It's a great show, and it's first of all a great show for the horse racing enthusiasts. But they do such a good job at TSN of bringing it down to all the fans and showing the fashion and showing the human interest story. We're going to have, I think, around 10 Olympians at the racetrack, and led by Penny Oleksiak. She's going to be joined by her brother, Jamie, and in addition to that, I think the stars of a certain football team that wears black and gold. You heard of them. They got off to a slow start, but Simone's going to bring his whole gang down here, and it will be a wonderful day of pageantry with the royal representation and great horse racing. But the TSN will show what a great experience it is, and I encourage everyone to get here someday, because it really is a bucket list in this country to come to the Queen's Plate. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we're going to be down to about 7,500 people this year, down from 25 or 30,000. But it's a really fun day, and I hope people tune in. and enjoy the experience through TSN and CTV.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, Jim. Thanks for the time. As always, let's do it again soon.
Look forward to speaking again. Thanks for having me on, Rod.
Jim Lawson, the CEO of Woodbine Entertainment, joining us in advance of the 162nd running of the Queen's Plate.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.